welcome back to my channel. Thank you to you if you are returning or if you're a new watcher. Like this video, subscribe, check out my skin video because the foundation of flawless makeup is great skin, and although my face is a beat right now, you know, it's looking real smooth texture. So first things first, few housekeeping things. So you might notice that my background is completely different. That is because my ring light finally chose. It fought the good fight, okay? I've had that for a few years. I actually went to go do someone's makeup. My friend, she graduated and her birthday was on her graduation date and she got her master's. Shout out to Rhodesia. The light just blew out. So I was like, wow. On a time where I'm literally using it to like actually be productive, you know what I'm saying? Until I get a new ring light, you guys will probably be seeing this background, which I don't know. I think it's a vibe. You feel me? I think it's a vibe. What y'all think? But anyway, let's get into this. So, if you follow me on Instagram, which if you don't, you need to do that. It is my first and last name, Shinga Martino. And I've been talking about this for a minute, but I've asked people, okay, should I spell the fat camp T? Yes, I went to fat camp, okay? At 19 years old, I will be 25 this year. It's been a little bit of a minute, you know, like where I could recover, been to therapy, you feel me? I really went to fat camp. Wow. And you know what's funny is that when I tell people that, they are like, that's a real place. Like I thought that was only in movies, like the Ben Stiller movie. I'm like, no, it exists. Whew. So much had happened in the 9 weeks that I was there. Yes, 9 long weeks, the longest 9 weeks of my life. It's really easy to kind of go off on a tangent and to get myself into a rabbit hole. So to stay on topic, written things down. So bear with me. It all started when my mother summoned me in our home, which was in Richmond, Virginia at the time before I moved to DC like full time after I graduated from college, before I moved here to Atlanta. She literally didn't really say much. She just showed me this video like, Zing, she calls me Zing. Zing, come look at this video. So she showed me this video, which looks like people that are having a great time and fun in the sun, you know, on slip and slides, water fights, all that good stuff, right? So what do you think about that? You know, because she's thinking, let me not present it as fat camp because I'm probably not going to be attracted to such a name. So she wanted to see if I were to remove the exterior, what would she think about the actual camp like at its core, right? So I'm like, I don't know, like it looks fun, like what, like what's up? Turns out to be a fat camp, but she had already had a whole conference call with the owner of the camp, asking him detailed questions. And she's like, what do you think about losing 50 pounds in the summer? And I'm like, man, what's going on? Like, I end up at camp, and I wanna tell you guys that the day that I got dropped off at that airport, I had a big old breakfast, okay? Because I knew it was hit, like for 9 weeks, 9 long weeks in the middle of bump. I knew it was about to be a different story. So I had me a good breakfast, nice and hearty. You know, I went off onto the plane, and as I'm going on, like waving goodbye, I could feel myself like holding back the tears. Like I literally wanted to bawl my eyes out in that very moment. So I get there. The first person I see is this girl, and she has like an orange t-shirt. My mom told me, they told me to look for the people with the orange t-shirt. So when you get there, look for them, and then they can guide you to like the next step to get to the actual camp. So after that, I get to the actual location of the camp, and I don't remember too much after that from like the very first day, but I do remember like maybe like the next day when everybody was kind of like saying their names and getting to know each other. Our camp counselors were divided by division, and by division I mean like everybody is sectioned out by age. So I was in the SHYA group. That means senior high school / young adult, okay? I think that was probably like ages like 18 to maybe 17 to like 24 plus. Wow, it's really crazy because we have D-Train here, the main culprit of why I was at fat camp. So let the people see your face.
First of all, it was not fat camp.
Yes, it was.
Fitness camp. And it worked. You came back lighter, stronger, more educated about your health. You're more fit.
Mom, that was hell. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? That was the worst 9 weeks of my life.
You just cuss.
You're missing it. Mom, that's in the Bible. Okay, that's in the Bible, period.
It's everything in the Bible, there's context around it, and you use it as a cuss.
Stop deflecting. You sent me to fat camp and it was horrible, and now I'm telling the people all the details because they didn't believe me. They didn't think it was real.
How'd you get snatched? I rest my case.
Fat camp ignited the flame, but it was because I was like, okay, I'm a little bit lighter. I'm feeling myself a little bit, except my skin was horrible. My hair was broken off, and those were my key ways of feeling good about myself, you know, because that's just what it is.
Are you ready to pay me?
1,000 pounds or 1 pound.
Are you ready to pay me?
Why would I be paying you?
Had you not gone, you wouldn't have material for all of this.
Right. It's not. You think this is the only thing I would talk about on a YouTube channel, Mom? Really?
But the fact that you're going to touch lives through this vehicle in this time with this experience is courtesy of me. And here's the thing about life. I didn't make the rules. I like winning, I like easy things and easy stuff, but the bottom line is the only way, well, not the only way, but the primary way to build a memorable experience that changes your life and your thought process and blesses other people is through hardship. Hardship is what builds character. I didn't make the rules.
Cues violins. You're missing it. You could have spent way less money and I could have had a personal trainer at home and lived life. I was yanked away from all my friends the summer after my first year of college.
Yeah, I know, and you survived and you're a strong person.
No. Yeah, I survived, but it was horrible.
I know. I'm sorry. Do you know how upset I was when your hair came back broken off?
Yeah, and you could do this. Point the finger at yourself.
Moms make mistakes.
Finally! Wow, ladies and gentlemen, we have a confession. We haven't heard this.
I didn't say that was an example of one. I'm just saying, in the world of motherhood, should I ever be blessed with grandchildren, maybe you'll understand the difficulties associated with making parental decisions.
No.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, well, I took the most L's there.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
All right, well, your services are done. You fulfilled your purpose.
So much boobies on there. You just said something.
Anyway, we were rudely interrupted by the peanut gallery, aka my mother, aka the train.
I'm eating cashews.
You spend most of your time with the people that are in your division. And the first thing that I experienced was some like low-key like bullying from my camp counselor for our division. She was like, why are you here? You're like not even that bad. Because I guess amongst everyone, I'm on the smaller side, right? Or at that time I was at the smaller side. So that was interesting, but then we became besties and it was fine. So that was cool. I had my little unit of friends. So now I'm gonna talk a little bit about like how the day is structured. Just imagine, you know, a typical day of high school. You have about 7 to 8 periods. You go to class. Each class is a different class, obviously. Each time we go to a different location, it's like a different type of a workout. So that could entail swimming, a sport, circuit, which I hated circuit. We would be outside on a field that had no trees, so it's just nothing but the sun beating down on you. We're flipping tires, we're running hills, we're sprinting the track. It was torture. It was hell, okay? And this is in upstate New York, by the way, about like 3 hours away from the city. The reason why my hair broke off and my skin broke out was because of the reason I was sweating all day. I'm sitting in my sweat. I'm not washing my face until after I get back to my cabin, and pimples, that's just it. And then same thing with my hair, chlorine in my hair after I go to the pool, go home, it breaks off. Now we gotta talk about going to eat breakfast and lunch and dinner and then our snacks in between. So the first thing, obviously, I didn't feel like we were being fed enough. They were literally like younger kids who would be crying. Like these, just imagine like these little pudgy kids like wobbling about and they're like crying because they're hungry. Like there's not enough food. So a lot of the camp counselors would actually smuggle food into the camp because they were hungry. Like, everybody was hungry. And I was just convinced. I was like, y'all are starving us. There's just no way. Then some people, I don't know, we really don't know if there were laxatives put in the food, but whatever. The dining hall is at the end of the biggest hill, the steepest hill that I had ever seen. Obviously by design, because what happens once you're done eating? Where do you have to go? Back uphill. And so we're already burning off that meal. So it was just like, everything around here is just trash. Like, it was just so much torture. Then we would have like snacks in between. So we walked that hill. We walked down that hill 3 times a day, obviously, and back up that hill 3 times a day. And then we had our snacks in between, which were like typically brought to us. To talk about the other people that were at that camp with me, it was a little bit of a challenge at first because we had like group therapy sessions that we did not have to be a part of. We had to, if we opted out of them, we had to like do it like, I think formally, if I remember correctly. We had to like communicate like, you know, I just don't need to be in this. So not to say that I'm somebody who doesn't have, you know, feelings like every other human, or I don't have some type of like insecurity. Like, you know, we all have those different things about us. However, the people that I went to camp with and myself, we kind of differed, I guess, in that way. You know, like there was just like various things that they struggled with that I just didn't like really relate to. So it was kind of hard for me to like connect in that setting. I literally told the counselor, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on this, I'm good. So I dipped out of the counseling session part of it. It was just not really necessary for me. Not to say that therapy is not necessary, and that's, I would say that I would go to therapy. That was just totally different. It's really hard to explain, but it just was not adding any value to me. You know what I mean? Like, for example, things around, you know, maybe how people like treated you, like school or whatever. Like I didn't ever go through stuff like that. Like at my school, like I got along with everybody. Like I was like not picked on in high school, like none of that. So yeah, that was interesting. A lot of these girls that were there, you know, some of them were kind of like on the more shy side, or like, you know, would maybe say things like they hadn't like, you know, done certain things before, I guess, that they felt like most girls our age did do. So they would kind of use that time at camp to explore, you know, and to maybe check a few things off of the bucket list. I'm gonna leave that to your imagination. But just know that we did have a lot of counselors on what they called nookie patrol, because people would be, you know, getting into different things once nightfall came. One day out of the, actually no, we had 2 days out of the month that the SHYA group could actually like leave the campgrounds, because we could not leave the campgrounds for like any reason unless it was like the entire camp or a few groups out of the camp are going to the lake or something like that. But other than that, like we didn't see anybody else outside of that camp for like those 9 weeks, unless you were in my division. So if you were in SHYA, they actually arranged for us to go to the mall like every other Sunday. So that was like the one time where like we felt human, we felt like a part of society. We luckily don't have to wear our fat camp t-shirts, which is a silhouette of a little boy holding his pants out like to show how much weight that he's lost, and it's like live, laugh, lose. So we had to wear those when we would go like to the field trips and stuff. Like, bro, in this big old white truck, and I want you to picture the truck that you see in Orange Is the New Black when they're like transporting the inmates. Yeah, it's that kind of truck, but on the side of it is that same little boy, that silhouette with the big pants, and it says live, laugh, lose. And it's clear who's in the car. They're just waiting like, okay, it's about to be a whole bunch of like victims coming out the car, because clearly they had this big old sign. I'm like, dang, y'all just out here labeling me and I don't even have a chance. Like, dang. So we would get to the mall, And they would give us the rundown, like, look, no contraband, no eating the wrong thing, like make the right decisions, blah, 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 like giving us the whole spiel, right? So there were a lot of kids in the younger groups that, you know, kids like 13 to 15, like y'all are not grown, but you're grown enough. So they would be trying to pay us to bring back contraband. And by contraband, I mean like gum, candy, stuff like that. They wanted us to smuggle things back to camp for them. And this one girl, I will never forget, this girl was begging me to bring her back some gum. I was like, girl, no. Because when we get back to the campgrounds, they literally make us, they shake us down. They would make us empty our bags. They want to see what you got at the mall. They're filling it out, making sure you ain't got no contraband, none of that stuff, right? There was this one time where we went to a restaurant in the nail salon, right? Because you know me, like I like to get my nails done. I like to keep myself maintained. So that's when I felt finally a little bit in my element, right? There was this one girl that decided to kind of like cling on to me and my friends at camp. And we go to get our nails done. She's telling the freaking nail lady. She's telling her exactly where we're from, who we're with, why we're here. I'm like, girl, like why are you sitting here telling them that we are a part of the fat camp and we on a little, you know, getaway. We're on a little vacation. Like another one of the girls in the group, she was a lot more outspoken. She just gave 0 fucks. So this girl literally waits until we go to have a sit-down meal. Like we went to Ruby Tuesdays, you know, we ordered from like the low-cal meal, you know, and they have like the little symbols, and it's like a green thing or something, just to show that it's on the low-cal side. Yeah, well, we're like sitting down, we eat, and you could hear a pin drop. So then she dropped her fork. She was like, I'm mad at you. And she was telling the other girl, like, I'm mad at you because you went and told them who we are, where we're from, like why we're here. And the girl was just so sad. She starts crying. It was like a hot mess. But like, I felt her though. I was like, yeah, like we're just trying to exist and be a part of society and feel normal for once. And here you are blowing our cover. These people probably sitting here thinking like, where's MTV? You know how MTV used to do like that True Life show? I don't know if they still do it. They actually had a girl on there and it was like True Life, I'm going to fat camp or something like that. She went to the same camp that I went to. After that, you know, we go back to the camp. They check us, pat us down, check us out, whatever. Go back and we probably have some kind of like evening activity to do, which a lot of it would become like a camp war type of situation. Like just imagine the Hunger Games and they'd make it like a camp-wide activity, like fight to the death, like that kind of thing. There was a lot of other underhanded things going on. Like, so I just want to paint the picture. Like, this is like a place where you're spending quite a bit of money to attend. So there was the majority of the people that were there, like they came from like wealthy backgrounds, but there's a percentage of people that they have other ways and other means of actually, you know, being able to accumulate the funds to attend the camp. There was like this one girl and she was like, she was hot shit, okay? This girl was like, I think she maybe turned like 17 while at camp. Mind you, the girl's not fat at all. I think that maybe it was a thing where like, maybe she went out as a kid and she just loved it. That already speaks to how much money you come from if you can afford to come here every summer. Like, that's crazy. She was like the plug on top of that. She would be in there with the drugs, okay? There would be camp counselors that were apparently like selling with her, like hot mess, okay? There was a whole plug on campgrounds, bro. Like there was also apparently a path through the woods to a McDonald's that was like a mile walk away, and apparently like a whole bunch of people like walked that way and got caught. There was also an incident where there was a boy that bro was over it, okay? Like he tried to jump the fence. Just imagine this like 12-year-old little thickums trying to hop over the fence, unsuccessful to say the least. So yeah, that was fun. I left out a lot of details because I felt like I didn't want to record this video and have anybody be offended, because there were a lot of things that happened that are not very PG. And that's from a broad spectrum of things, like not just like one type of situation. A lot of things happen that I just don't even want to speak on. I just don't. But just imagine Orange is the New Black. Everything that went down in that show probably went down at this fat camp. And I'm talking everything. My advice is that, whew, oh God, I thought it was a bug. It was my earring bag, I'm sorry. My advice, or not even my advice. Now, the question of the century. Was fat camp actually effective? Was it worth the time, the blood, sweat, and the tears? This is what I'll say. I think that going to this fat camp actually, you know, it jump-started my weight loss journey because it physically did. I lost 20 pounds that summer that I was there. But I would not do it again, and I would not recommend it to anybody, and I would not send my future children. We could have gotten a personal trainer for a portion of the money, and I would have been able to maintain my lifestyle. I would have been able to more realistically implement it into my lifestyle versus being completely ripped away from reality to fully focus on just one thing. It's like not realistic, and that's just not even how life is, which is why the majority of the people who went there, they would typically go home and gain all the weight back and then come back that summer and like lose the weight again. That's like not even really a healthy way to even maintain yourself. Like you shouldn't be rapidly losing and gaining weight that often, and you're not learning anything. You're just consistently doing the same thing, and you're not taking away any type of lesson. You feel me? So I didn't think it was valuable in that sense. There's an exception to every rule, and I do believe that I was a part of the exception population because I got inspired by specifically the nutritionists that were there. They actually cared about us, you know, like they were only doing their job. So when it came to like the chefs and the cooks and the nutritionists, which were two separate groups of people, but like the nutritionists, they didn't even like being there. Like they hated it. They were ready to go. And the ones that I actually grew close to, I learned a lot from them, and I just tried to continue to like move forward with the things that they taught me and to implement them into my lifestyle. So that is why I continue to, you know, kind of get to where I am. We all go through things. We all go through our ups and downs, what have you. But I'd say the last 4.5-ish years of my life, I've definitely completely changed the way that I eat. Like no matter what. At the end of the day, at some point, calories are calories, but still when we're talking about like the quality, I've completely changed the way that I eat. I mean, I don't even buy junk. If I eat something that I shouldn't eat, it's because I'm like celebrating something. So maybe I have like cake or something, you know, some soul food or whatever if I'm celebrating something, but I don't have any of that in my house or where I'm living. That is a fat camp tea. Hopefully, you know, this interests somebody. Maybe if I went years before, if I were born in a different year, I would have been on MTV, but I wasn't. So somebody that you know is considering going to fat camp, tell them no, it's a dub. Send them this video and be like, this is why you shouldn't go to fat camp, because you just don't need to. You really don't. Like, again, you're going to learn the tools that you need to learn to actually be consistent and maintain that lifestyle if you just seek out different ways that can be incorporated into your life, that you can develop a new habit. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to have to feel like if I'm not at fat camp, I can't get results. And that's clearly what a lot of people felt like. Hey, if you went to a fat camp somewhere, girl or boy, and you experienced something different, you let me know. Thank you for watching. I hope that you share this video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on IG. Appreciate you guys.